Libertarianism is, in my opinion, the most misunderstood political party in the United States. Today, we're going to be looking at King Critical's video about Based If True's video titled Why I Became an Anarcho-Capitalist. Within this video, King Critical, who for the record, I've actually watched some of his videos about the trans stuff before. Anyhow, within this video, King Critical demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of just any of what anarcho-capitalists believe. But, with all that further ado, let's just get right into this shit.
Hello, everybody. Water. It's what the lions drink. Hello, everybody. I'm wearing my headphones today, which means that obviously we must be responding to a video. So I saw this video. I mean, I've got to respond to it. There's a channel called Based If True. The main thing you should know about this channel is I have a habit of calling him Based Is True. The other thing you should know about this channel is one time he persistently bothered me about doing a collab. And then I eventually was like, yeah, sure. And since then, he's abandoned the idea. He got scared by me, presumably.
Bringing up unnecessary personal drama is always a great start when it comes to a video.
So now I'm going to dunk on him, I guess. Basically, there's this video. It's a 6-minute, 17-second video called Why I Became Anarcho-Capitalist. I'm not even going to talk about that thumbnail, whatever. The main thing that I'm interested in is, I mean, honestly, actually, I haven't looked at any of his recent videos. He stopped talking about Reddit all the time. That's interesting. So basically, it's a video called Why I Became Anarcho-Capitalist. Now, obviously, I've been on a bit of an anti-anarcho-capitalist.
If you consider making one video before this one within this month as being on an anti-anarcho-capitalist thing, then I guess, bro.
Recently. So I thought, why not just respond to this very short video and just see what's said. Now, I will say this going into it, based on the fact it's 6 minutes and 17 seconds, I'm considering the possibility that this might be one of those videos. Oh, hello. This might be one of these videos where there is one singular argument made. And ultimately, I'm just going to kind of watch the whole video, get to the end of the video and be like, okay, well, this is the basic argument, rather than it being a case of multiple arguments made. Because obviously, again, it's only a 6 minute, 17-second video. So whatever, we're going to jump in and I'm just going to pause as and when I feel like there's something to say. I should say, by the way, I'm going into this video completely blind. I'm just interested in, basically what he has to say.
I don't know why people act like it's a W to not do any fucking research on a topic whenever you make a video. You should try to understand how to argue against somebody's points when you make a video about them.
Because, like I say, a channel that is certainly has been a regular viewer, he's frequently been in my comment section. He will probably see this video when it comes out. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. I'd be surprised if this video passes him by. But yeah, obviously talking about anarcho-capitalism, I am very much not an anarcho-capitalist, so let's see.
But anyway, if you don't know what anarcho-capitalism is, very simply put, it's the logical conclusion of free market capitalism and Austrian economic theory.
Okay. Logical conclusion of free market capitalism. I will say this right away. I'm like, no, it's not, because capitalism requires having a state to defend property, but whatever, we'll see.
What the fuck are you talking about? A core tenet of anarcho-capitalism is the idea of gun rights and the ability of citizens to defend themselves. This is very dishonest because it ignores that the privatization of the state also includes things like the police and security companies. Also, the state isn't protecting property rights with things like squatters' rights in states like California, where you go on vacation and somebody breaks into your house and then they begin living there, you can't kick them out.
In fact, ANCAPs are extremely interested in legal theory and governance because our goal is to maximize freedom and provide a system that entirely relies on consensual governance. We actually spend the most time thinking about this, as it's the most pertinent thing to analyze in order to be recognized as a legitimate political system.
By the way, I will say this right away. It's like, meme of anarcho-cops, anarcho-executioner, blah, blah, blah. To be honest, anarcho-capitalists, what they should call themselves, and this is the thing they do call themselves, is voluntarists. I think that's the term. And that makes more sense, because essentially their position isn't anarchism. They still believe in a state. They just believe the state should be engaged with on a voluntary basis. That's basically their stance. They ultimately think that you should have policemen and courts and all the things, but they even a lot of the time believe in executions and things like that.
What are you actually on about, bro? Genuinely, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm pretty sure your idea of anarchy is from the public school system, where it's just there's no rules, bro, just run wild. Yes, there is some form of police and courts and executioners, as you said, in an anarcho-capitalist system. It's just that those systems are privatized, which would push them to get better through the principle of competition. mainly because without a state, which is inherently authoritarian through the enforcement of monopolies. Also, why are you acting like it's impossible for citizens to do executions, dude? Did the French Revolution have a state that enforces executions of monarchs? Like, are we actually fucking serious?
Freedom.
We are absolutely not trying to turn America or any other country into Somalia, so I just want to get that out of the way first.
To be fair, okay, this is, it's worth noting, by the way, nobody is criticizing anarcho-capitalism thinking that is their goal, but there are people who will say that is the inevitable result. So, whatever. Obviously, I'm not going to make that argument here, but it's just worth noting that saying this isn't what we're trying. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a socialist making a video like, we're not trying to create bread lines. It's like, well, obviously that's not going to satisfy anyone because the question isn't, are you trying to create bread lines?
But the key here is recognizing that capitalism actually goes hand in hand with anarchism. It's the logical conclusion to being a capitalist, in fact, because if you're abiding by the principles of voluntary exchange, free markets, private property, etc., there wouldn't be the necessity for a state to have involuntary taxation.
Okay, why does abiding by the principles of private property, which means, for example, that I can own a factory in halfway across the world, and the people who then work at that factory are obligated to get my permission before they're allowed to continue working at that factory, why does that not require a state? Why does that not just logically require a state?
What? First off, this is ignoring Base Div True's larger point, which is mainly about taxation and voluntary exchange. This is known as the weak man fallacy, where you pick out only the bad parts of an argument and ignore the majority of it. The reason why capitalism doesn't require a state is because a state is inherently opposing to the principle of voluntary exchange. As an example, taxation isn't voluntary. You have to pay your taxes or else the government will come in and try to kidnap you, essentially for the utter crime of not allowing the state to steal from you.
I'll probably be doing one of those educational videos in like a short 5 to 10 minutes, and then my usual Reddit content, so I satisfy all audiences. So even if you don't subscribe to my political system or whatever, which is fine, you can still enjoy the entertainment of dunking on the Redditors, because that will never get old.
Okay, so he hasn't entirely moved away from the Redditor thing, but also at the same time he's going to be talking about... This is really funny, actually, because I've said before that I genuinely could see libertarianism becoming the new trans ideology for this channel, which is to say I could actually see that libertarianism has enough kind of nonsense to it that, much like how I was able to milk trans ideology for like 3-4 years until I felt like I'd exhausted it, I could genuinely see the same being true of anarcho-capitalism and libertarianism more generally. So that would be quite funny if basically he ends up kind of just becoming, like, pivoting to being mostly an anarcho-capitalist channel, and I pivot to being mostly a criticizing libertarianism and anarcho-capitalism channel.
There's a lot of fluff here, but obviously I understand that the point of this was not to make an argument, but he offered literally no arguments to why libertarianism is wrong. Literally none. Like, not even a single one within that clip.
But now that I am taking the time to research and study all these things, I really want to debate socialists and communists, or whoever really. I want to be one of the powerhouses for the movement and ultimately show people how we can achieve the most prosperous society.
Here's something else I don't get about, like, the whole, we can achieve the whole... Like, one of the things I don't understand is, you understand, nobody, like, he literally said at one point, people don't have time to delve into this incredibly niche ideology.
Only the unemployed have enough time to deep dive into a relatively niche political and philosophical system.
Yeah, do you know why it's incredibly niche ideology? Because nobody believes it, nobody takes it seriously. It's never, like, I don't really understand, like, I understand anarcho-capitalists who just say, pretty much it's like them having an opinion on Aragon's tax policy. Like, basically it's, here's my political opinion about a completely fantastical world. Like, in this fantasy world that I have in my head, this is how things would be. But I don't really understand anarcho-capitalists, like, because obviously they must know on some level this is never actually going to happen. You're never going to convince the majority of people to just let corporations be in charge of everything. It's not happening anytime, ever.
So just never try and do anything ever. This is literally the argument that fucking doomer incels, using the big word, use whenever they say, yeah, I'm not going to try and do anything because it's never going to change, right? So just literally never try to improve your situation. Never try and strive for your goals. Like, never try and do fucking anything, dude. Literally just do nothing. It's so fucking stupid.
It's just never happening. And like that's kind of to me always been the central contradiction of again capitalist voluntarism. Is that the whole point of it is like, yeah, we're just going to do what people choose. We're only going to emphasize people's freedom to choose. And it's like, okay, now everybody chose to have the state, and everybody chose to think that we're a bunch of insane people.
Nobody's ever existed in a time that is currently alive without a state. There's never been an option to say dissolve the state and give us anarcho capitalism. Well, obviously, I'm not of the opinion that anarcho capitalism is some insanely popular political ideology. There's never been a choice to just say fuck the state. You know, let's get some anarchism in here.
Who are completely idiotic, but we're really about like it doesn't really like I don't understand. See, it's almost like you look at like something like fascism. Fascism is about people not having choice. And yet, what you'll see in certain elections, like those elections in the 1930s, is that people, when given the choice, will more readily pick fascism, which which basically derides their right to have a choice, than they will these like libertarians who are like, hey everyone, we want to give you all the choice in everything, and literally the first choice they make is, well, okay, well we don't want that actually, so.
This is ignoring the numerous environmental factors surrounding why these fascist governments came into power. That being that the populace were very angry at the current state and money was worth fucking nothing. The nations were humiliated during previous wars, which we see with Germany and Austria within the interwar period. This is also acting like either fascism or libertarianism has been in any major elections before in a recent context. This is also fucking ignoring. I don't give a fuck if my ideology is popular, okay? It's right. It's the objectively like correct thing. It's just I care about facts, and the fact of the matter is that libertarianism is the correct ideology.
Thanks, but no thanks. That's the entire world's reaction to libertarianism. Yeah, thanks. We're gonna voluntarily choose to take money from you with taxes. Voluntary.
That's more or less my very brief explanation for why I changed my position, and although not much has changed broadly speaking.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically, obviously, in terms of like why, so the elephant in the room is that he literally said, I was a minarchist, which is someone who is basically a stone's throw away from being an anarchist, but they just think that the state needs to fund a very small number of things. And now he's saying, no, now I think that the state doesn't need to fund anything. Anyway, so it wasn't really an argument. It was just stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, whatever. It's cool. It's fine. I don't mind. People are allowed to be anarcho-capitalists. Just I would say, keep it between private consenting adults in the bedroom, and don't try and actually present it as a serious political ideology.
Again, this is the whole don't strive to make your ideology more popular. I don't like Lenin, but let's say this guy would see like Lenin and fucking back during the Russian Civil War or before the Russian Civil War when he was like gathering support, and he would be like, fuck you, dude, like what the fuck, dude, communism is so like fringe, bro. Like, why are you even gonna fucking try? Like, don't even try and present it as like a serious fucking political ideology, bro. Like, yeah, I'm a fucking retard. I have a mental disability. Well, with all that further ado, I would like to ask you guys to like and subscribe. And actually, I would like every single person, if you can, to comment. This is my first scripted video, and I would like some feedback. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.